Today we're going to go over the units that are made out of an impractically soft metal, but they're shiny and monkey brains say want. We'll be going over what they do, how they work, leveling them up. Spoiler alert, just don't do it. You will be disappointed. I will explain why, don't worry, but just don't do it. And of course, we'll be going over how to obtain them. But first, please hit that like button. So, what do these do? Basically, the golden unit will be able to take over a random slot in your formation that has that type of unit in there and turn it into a golden unit and give it a 50% HP boost. So if you go into the magic chest and the index here, you can click on the units and then view details. This is where you're able to see the 50%. If you just read their description, it doesn't give you an exact percent. But at level 1, these are able to give a 50% HP boost to a single stack. Now, unfortunately, you're not able to pick the stack that it chooses. It is completely random. Now, of course, if you have an entire march with nothing but tanks, all you're going to get access to is the golden tank. Here is just an example where I was able to get all 3 of them since I have all 3 types of unit. Now, if you have the golden unit, it's guaranteed to show up in your march if you have that type of unit in there. However, like I said, you can't control where it's going to be. Now, something to be aware of with the health calculation, let's go over to my elemental labs here real quick. Something I want to point out is I'm getting a 40 million health boost from my elemental labs, because the HP boost is calculated before the shield that my lab gives. So let's look at my tanks. So I've got my normal tank, and I've got my golden tank. So if we take away the 40 million that I'm getting from the elemental lab, because that's not part of this math, we're left with the golden tank having 54 million, and the regular tank having 36 million. Now the nice thing is this 50% HP boost is not like other HP boosts. This is calculated after all other HP boosts, but before the shield, which is the elemental lab that we took off that 40 million. So my regular tank without the elemental lab, which is the purple bar there, would have 36 million. Half of that is 18 million. You put 36 and 18 together, you'll have the 54 million that I would have from my golden tank. So the reason that these are so good is because it's calculated after all other HP increases, but before the shield. So, for example, it's not uncommon to get into the late game where you have 500 or even 1,000% HP boost. So what's another 50%? It's 50% after everything's calculated. So it ends up being more. That's why the golden units are so important. So that's how they work. Now, the reason you don't want to level these up, we'll go back to that magic chest here. As I pointed out, you can go to the unit and you can see how much it gives. For some reason, the golden Warship is in a different spot on here. If you scroll down, you can see the tank and the plane are together. I don't know why they're separate, but it is what it is. All of these give 50%. Now, if you level them up, it'll give you 60%. 60%. That's right. You'll get a 10% boost if you can manage to merge 3 of these together. And of course, you can only have a max effective amount of one of these. So for example, you can't have 3 golden tanks in your base and have 3 stacks of golden tanks in your march. No, only one of them works. But if you do merge these together, you're only going to get 10%, and it's pretty safe to assume based on other decorations, it'll be 10% for every level after that. So with how difficult these are to obtain, I strongly recommend do not go out of your way to level these up because it's just not worth it. Now, as far as how to get them, there's multiple ways. The first way, and it's a paid way, is every now and again you'll see an event pop up at the top of the screen inside your base. So for example, next to the monthly ticket here, there will be an event that shows one of these golden units, and you can buy them for either $100 or what is equivalent to the 6,400 gem pack. So these are very, very expensive. However, there are other ways to get them. So for example, the army, the golden tank, can actually be obtained through the fancy chest, but don't get your hopes up. Your chances are a 0.01% chance of getting this from the fancy decor chest. So anybody who's got a screenshot with that, save that. I have seen it once, and you are incredibly lucky. Go get a lotto ticket. Now, for the Navy one, to obtain that one, you can do the Cupid's Arrow event. It's about a monthly event where you're able to spend gems or use your free attempts, and then you can use keys to unlock these presents you sometimes get, and one of the presents contains the golden ship, but in reality, you're either going to have tens and tens of thousands of gems, or more likely, you're just going to have to spend real money to get it. Another way that you're able to get the golden ship is through Eternal Lands. In the most recent Eternal Lands, it was the only golden unit that was available for points, so that was a somewhat obtainable way to get it. So free players, you're definitely going to want to participate in those Eternal Lands to get as many rewards as you can. Now, how to get the Air Force? Nope, can't. There are 2 ways to get all units, but there's no ways to get specifically the golden plane that I have seen so far. There is one more way I want to mention that you can get all units. They introduced a new decor chest, the exotic decor chest. It's very expensive, 1,000 gems each one, but you have a 0.2% chance of getting each type of golden unit. Of course, just one of them, but 0.2% of each type. So that's how you would get the airplane. You're either going to have to buy it, or you're going to have to get really lucky with the exotic decor chest. But hey, even though they're leaving you Air Force guys out in the rain out in the rain? Words are hard. I messed up that. Even though they're neglecting you Air Force guys, don't worry. Yours is shiny, and it moves. Much excite. But that's all I have to say about the golden units. If you can get your hands on them, great. Don't level them up. It's just too dang expensive. It takes too much work to get them. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'm terribly sorry, Air Force, but you got the shinies. As always, have a fantastic day.